Hi everyone, welcome to the Encourage Mama channel, and today I'm here with a very special mom in my life.
Oh boy, Auntie Nerva.
Auntie Nerva, Auntie
Yes.
Nerva. Auntie Nerva to the family is like that big mama.
Big Mama. You can call me that. That's
Yes,
fine.
big mama to
Acceptable.
everyone. Amen, amen. And so she has an amazing story of how God healed her from pancreatic cancer
Yes.
naturally without
Yes,
chemo or
yes.
surgery. And so
Breast cancer
breast cancer.
and the thoracic tumor.
Right.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, when I know that when we all heard the news, we were, you're a dear auntie, so we were, like, no, but tell us how you felt when you heard the news.
To be honest with you, I felt like it was death sentence.
You felt like it was a death sentence.
Yes. But after giving it much thought, I said, the Lord give it and the Lord take it. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Because I know what my condition is. So now I know to make my calling and election sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't talk to us about how you found out that you had cancer. I know that you didn't routinely go in and find out. It was almost a miracle that you found out
Yes.
that you had cancer.
Was in a major car accident. Went to the trauma center and they did a CAT scan. And when they were looking for injuries because of the accident, they saw this tumor on my pancreas. And it became sore thumb to the oncologist. So she wanted to explore and see what kind of cancer it was and what they need to do. But they felt like they need to act quickly. Unwillingly, I wasn't ready for them to act because number one, pancreatic cancer can be one of the most devastating cancer you can think of. It moves swiftly, and just talking to my doctor, I realized that time was running out. Looking at the mortality rate, if I had surgery, they said 28%. So I wasn't willing to do anything.
28% means that?
That's the mortality rate of, if I did the surgery, I have a 28% chance of surviving.
Wow.
So that didn't settle well with me. So I started to talk to my family members, my pastor's wife, and some close friends. And one of my very close friends said to me, you got to trust God, girl. They diagnose you with this cancer, but there is a God who is a healer. But I want you to exercise faith. I said, why? Because I'm diagnosed with cancer. I have to exercise faith. I thought I had faith, but I needed an extra special portion so that they can pray with me and encourage me and remind me that God is the healer. And he said, whatever good things you ask of him, and you call upon him in the day of trouble, he'll deliver you.
Amen. And so I remember, my husband is recording this. I remember when we were younger, we were dating, and you were taking care of your uncle.
Yes, who had pancreatic cancer.
Who had pancreatic cancer and who passed away from it.
Yes, after 11 months of diagnosis.
Right.
Yes.
And so I can imagine that all of that must have gone into your mind when
yes.
you heard that you had that.
And then after my uncle, I probably haven't told anyone this, but after my uncle passed away, a year or two later, my eldest son was diagnosed with pancreatitis.
Okay.
So that didn't sit well with me. And with me being diagnosed with it, I just was in awe. I couldn't understand why me, Lord?
Yes.
But then something took me back to the point where I said, Lord, you had me take care of my uncle. And that was to teach me something. So now I'm going to trust you. I said, if you choose to move in confidence, I am going to do what I need to do. So that if I die from this disease, I pray that my life and my soul will be well with you.
So what? When you found out, what stage were you?
Stage 1.
Stage 1.
And it was, they were expecting it because of the CAT scan and the contrast that they use. The contrast allows the cancer to metastasize.
What's
And
the contrast?
the contrast is a solution that they use, a dye to inject so that they can see the tumor.
Okay.
And the doctor just kept on giving me these, and then when I decided to do a research for myself, oh no, let's put a stop on this, because I wasn't supposed to have more than four CAT scans in a year.
Okay.
And within a period of 3 months, I had 3 CAT scans.
Oh, okay.
You know, and
So they kept on searching.
searching
see
and
exactly what to
searching.
do. So then,
It's-
go ahead.
My brother from New York, Devon, he called and he said, sis, there's a place where you can go in Tennessee called the Wildwood Lifestyle Center.
Wildwood Lifestyle Center.
Yes.
Okay.
Very costly, but with loved ones and family, I was able to go. I went
When
there
you say very costly, about how much would you say it was?
for 11 days, $3,700.
$3,700 for 11 days. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
21 days, you're running into $8,000.
$8,000 for 21 days. Okay.
Yes.
That is costly.
Very
That is
costly.
Is
You
it
know,
more expensive than other alternatives?
well, no, because if I had gone to Grady, they would have billed my insurance probably 300,000, whatever amount of dollars. So,
okay.
you know, if you want to look at it that way, but because I have had other health issues like diabetes and osteoarthritis, neuropathy, you name it.
Wow, wow.
And I was declining, but didn't know why I was declining, you know. So by then, I hadn't worked for 3 years, you know, because of all these ailments. But never would I have thought that I had pancreatic cancer.
Wow. So you made it to Wildwood.
Made it to
You
Wildwood,
decided not to do surgery or chemo.
right?
Why did you make that choice?
Because I knew that pancreatic cancer is something that kills you. And when you look at the statistics, which I don't have the numbers right hand to give you, is that you're going to die from it. So I said, you know, I'd rather die without doing anything. But then again, I'm sure people would want to tell me, you're foolish. Medicine is what it is.
And I remember
Yes.
you saying that your doctor thought that you were foolish to go to
Yes,
natural
my doctor told me, she said, well, if you're going to go to naturopathic doctors, when you come back, your body will be riddled with cancer, and within 4 months, you're going to die. So the 4 months leading up to the time when she told me that, I should have died December 2018. Now,
And we're in April.
we are in April 2019, May 2019.
Oh yeah, it is.
May 2019, I have not been stronger, energetic, and just full of vigor and life. And I call this a blessing from God, you know.
So can you walk us through some of the things? You might not be able to share everything today, and we're losing daylight. But can you share with us some things that they did at Wildwood? That's what it's called?
Fasting, first 3 days fasting, just drinking herb tea.
Herbal tea.
The first tea they started me on was hawthornberry.
Hawthornberry, okay.
And then after hawthornberry, nettle leaf, and there were 3 other teas, which I don't remember their names now. And they did a total cleansing, but the lemon and hot water and warm water every day was a must.
How many times a day? Like the lemon and warm water in the morning,
And
evening, and night, or just morning?
Every morning.
Okay,
But if you choose to, you could go on have it daily.
okay.
But because they incorporate a number of teas, I was able to just go through the 3 days fasting, just drinking herbal tea.
Wow.
And at the end of my 3-day fast, I got a bowl of kale, steamed kale. That was my breakfast.
Wow. You
And-
ate kale.
Kale, yes, Kale. I ate kale, steamed kale. No salt, no pepper, no seasoning like
This
we
is
love
the
to
queen
do.
of cooking.
Okay.
This is the queen of cooking.
And it tasted so good. I mean,
Well,
it's just
after
like you
drinking-
put
after
a
3 days of
Mhm.
fasting, you can taste the natural juices
Right.
and everything.
And then now they started me on a vegan diet.
Vegan. Okay.
Vegan. You say yes. They started me on it, having berries in the morning, omega-3, which was turmeric, ginger, and cumin.
And I remember every time we got sick, you always told us about ginger.
Yes,
Okay.
and in the afternoon, I have a dietitian who would follow me around, and she would say, "Okay, Sister Watson, fill your plate with green vegetables like kale, spinach, chard, or you name it." I said, "Okay, you can have some tomatoes, you can have some red pepper, or you can have some carrots. But these are all the ingredients that you're gonna have on your plate. And then you can add your pumpkin seeds or your almond seeds and, you know, all that other stuff."
So I know how much you love meat.
Yes, and,
And
I
you-
cook it too.
And you
know.
cook it and
Yeah.
you prepare it very well. Fish, goat, just lamb, chicken,
Steak, you name it.
everything. So how was that just flipping? Like, it's hard to just flip from meat eater to not meat eater.
I tell you the truth, I couldn't flip because the weekend before I started my journey to Wildwood, my sister and my nieces and nephew, they came over and we had a big feast of meat of all kind, which were clean and organic.
Right.
And I said, "This is my last oxtail for the week."
And she's Jamaican.
Yes.
Oxtail is like
Yeah.
everything.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And then I said, "Lord, this is it." My sister cleaned up my refrigerator and threw everything out. So when I got back, there was no meat there.
Wow.
So I said, I got to Wildwood and I said, "I'm ready." I prayed and I sing and I prayed and I meditate and I look back at my life. There were moments of tears. There were moments of joy. And there were moments of thanksgiving because I said, "Lord, thank you," because a lot of people's life cut so short. But here I am. I know what's wrong with me. And if I don't get healed, I know it is your will. So I follow the program with the diet, with the natural food, call it raw food, and we did it daily, but incorporated to the diet, exercise, rest. We could not watch
What time
TV.
did you- No TV.
No
What
TV.
does TV do to you?
Well, when you have TV and different rays of light, when you try to go to sleep, it affects whatever part of your nervous system it affects.
To relax, that
Yeah, you
relaxes
don't get
you.
to relax.
Oh,
So
okay.
total darkness.
At what time?
At 9 o'clock, we call it TAPS. We just have to turn everything off
Wow.
and go to sleep. Or not even listening to these quiet music, just go to sleep. Wake up at 5:30, the music wakes you up.
Wow.
And then you go and you do your exercise, you stretch, and they do the life alignment, all the mental stress that causes you
So you talk to a counselor?
we have a counselor. We had a counselor there, which we meet with maybe one or twice, or we have chaplains that we spoke to. And to tell you the truth, I was a little rambunctious because I didn't want to face some of the challenges that was affecting me mentally. But with the spiritual help, I was able to face it. But I had a few roadblocks.
Right.
But they prayed for me and they leave me alone so that when I take my walk, I could empty myself
You know,
of the defects.
some of the things that I grew up hearing, like stress is a killer and certain things, I feel like modern science is just coming to understand like how our emotions play into our health
Yes.
as well. So did you find there that when you were able to release some of that stress, like I guess my question is stress, do you think, really related to illness?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Stress, they said, also causes cancer. And the way my life was, I was going through a lot of stress. I was going through a lot of stress, was not admitting it.
Right.
I had just completed a big move from Seattle, Washington to Atlanta.
Right. That
And
is very
to place
stressful.
myself, I have worked I have worked so many years, double shifts, double jobs.
So that means
and
you
then
weren't sleeping properly.
right, and then 3 years later I could not work. Staying at home was not the thing for me because I felt like this was the end of it.
So it was eating right, sleeping right, walking. You said you walked like 5 miles a day. That's what
Yes,
you told me 5
yes.
miles a day. Counseling, meditation, and
Fresh air and
and sunlight.
spend,
You talked to me about
yes,
sunlight as well.
and just getting by yourself in nature. And you just walk there and you have this little burning bush where you can stop and praise God and see the glory and the handiwork of God.
Wow.
And yes, it took me that much time to realize what has brought this on for so many years.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 33 days, but 21 days was really the treatment,
Okay.
the intense treatment.
Okay.
Because on weekends, we did not actually go into, we did more worship and trips out to the mountains and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Wow. So you went back and talk to me about when you found out you didn't have cancer anymore after.
When I returned home, my doctor, Dr. Sherman, said, well, we've done our part. Your blood work is looking much better, but go back to your doctor.
Dr. Sherman is
The naturopathic and the medical
okay.
doctor. She does both. She said, go back
Wildwood.
at Wildwood.
Okay.
She said, go back and let them do the test, let them do the biopsy. And if they say do the surgery because you're at a better place right now in your life where your body has been cleansed.
Okay.
And you should be able to tolerate this better.
Okay.
So I listened to her, went back, and after I talked to my doctor, and they did another CAT scan and another blood work, when they came back, they were amazed because they were saying, your blood work shows that you were 49% cancer, and it is now 19%. And she...
49 to 19.
Yes, and she's saying, where are the tumors?
No tumors.
Appointment was set up. The doctor called me about a day before the appointment and said, you know what, we don't want you to come in today because we're just going to waste your time.
Wow.
I took it upon myself to see a gastroenterologist out of Grady, and he looked at my work, all my history, physical, and my blood work, and he said to me, you're amazing. Go back and do what you're doing. What they taught you at Wild, we'll continue to do it, and we will see you whenever you feel like you need to see us.
Wow.
So I had an MRI the other day, and my doctor said, your cancer, the tumor has shrunk, your pancreas looks great,
Wow.
but we will see you in 6 months.
Okay.
So right now, I can safely say that I'm cancer-free because the tumors are gone, and the symptoms I had, I have them no more, and I'm more able to be active and do the things that I was having problems doing.
Okay. How is the light, babe? Can we continue?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So I remember you telling me when you kind of told me the testimony that you had breast cancer.
Breast cancer.
But you didn't know that when you went to Wildwood? Or did you know
No, well, actually, everything was benign when I,
that?
in the 12 years ago.
Okay.
But now they said that I had the breast cancer, but she did not want to address the breast cancer until I had the surgery for the pancreas. They didn't want to overwhelm me.
Okay.
But when I returned, they said they didn't see any breast cancer.
Wow.
So my doctor jokingly says, maybe we misdiagnosed you.
Wow.
And upon her saying that, I handed her a Ministry of Healing to let her know that this
And
was
that's the
one of
book.
my, by Ellen G. White. I handed it to her and told her this was my devotional book that helps me and helped me mentally to change the way I do things and the way I live my life.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. So we are So I am married to your nephew.
Yes.
And a funny story, I didn't really know how close our family was because my uncle migrated here and my dad.
Yeah.
And you were very instrumental.
Yes.
in
They came here as missionaries working with C.D. Brooks.
Okay.
And I met Joliet and his wife Cornice, and they were with child. So I embraced them into my family, and now Cornice, what's her name? Jolnice is now an adult.
Right.
So that tells you how
Right.
many years I've been a part of this
Right.
family.
So she took in my uncle.
Yes, and his wife.
And his wife that was with child and loved them. She is very, very loving. And to show you how God works things around, the place that she went to, he was a missionary. He was.
Mary was a missionary at Wildwood, but she's in charge of the program. And is a friend of your uncle.
Okay, so Mary went to St. Vincent and met my uncle maybe when he was in his 20s or as a teenager.
Yes.
And all back then, and God was like planning that.
Yes,
and
we couldn't see.
Right.
Yes.
So you bringing him and showing that kindness to him.
Trickle down economics.
Down.
Yes, praise the Lord.
Trickle down economics.
Yes.
Because he knew the person at Wildwood. And so we never know, like, treat people well. And I can say that you are one of the most loving, kind, caring person I've ever met. And all the great things that you've done for people, God just, he
keeps on blessing me over and over and over. And that's why I always sing this song. I know my God is able. He's able to carry me through. And I'm holding fast to that because I'm a testament of this. Yes.
Amen. So I'll try to probably leave some information if people want to write you a letter or something.
Yes.
Or an email.
Please do. nervaline@gmail.com.
Okay. I will.
206-551-7902.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
I will put it in the information box so that, you know, if you are at stage 1, if you just want to talk to someone that has overcome cancer, she's a living testimony here. And this is a channel to encourage moms, but dads, anyone that, you know, got that bad news, know that God is able. And
with that saying, I went there, I'm going to say exactly 241 pounds.
Okay.
When I returned, I was 202 pounds.
Wow.
So God is good.
Amen.
God is good.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll continue to pray for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Continue with your lifestyle changes.
Yes.
That God continues to bless you.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I think that was good. Hopefully our lighting was okay.
It was awesome.